The number line is useful in this just to explain to your pupils what is actually happening here. So, you've heard of retirement annuities. There are all sorts of annuities. It doesn't have to be called an annuity, but it's a regular payment into an account so that you can get a large sum of money in the future. Okay. So, in this example, 1,000 Rand a month, and this formula is designed so that you don't start paying right now, you're paying in a month's time. And I'll show you how we can adjust for that later on. And it's for 3 years. And so if you had to do a calculation every single month for 3 years, you've got to do 36 calculations. Or else you've got to have this whole string of things, and it's just too complicated. So when we did sinking funds last year, we did a sinking fund, say, for 5 years, but it was an annual thing. But just as an example, a simple example for the grade 11s, when I did that with you, I did discuss that it wasn't a realistic thing because companies are more likely to invest a sum every month than to invest 50,000 Rand a year, because it means they've got to have a lump sum. So it's not a realistic thing. But just for simplicity, to get them introduced to the idea, we did that in grade 11. Here we have the scenario that you're saving for something in the future. It doesn't matter what, or the company's putting in money away for a new car or whatever it is, but it's for something you're going to receive in the future, and it's an investment. And so you pay 1,000 Rand a month, and so it's going to be compounded monthly, so we've got to remember this is 36 months. And what actually happens is if you say, right, if we had to make a sequence out of this, because it's quite nice to tie it up with sequences just to explain it, but don't worry too much if the pupils don't get it, that this payment here will be getting interest for all these months. Okay. This one will have 1 month less interest. And so that the time period for each investment is decreasing by 1. Okay, that your exponent will decrease by 1. And so what I've done, they normally, for some reason, they put the last one first. So this one, you paid at the end, it doesn't get any interest. Okay, so there it is there. This one here gets 1 month of interest. So that's it there. And so you're actually going backwards. So this one here would be that first one you made. Okay. 35 months interest because you paid in a month's time. And so if you do it that way, you'll see that it forms a geometric sequence where your R is the 1 plus I bracket. Okay. And your first term is 1,000 Rand. Now, that's why I was saying that if you do it this way, we're assuming that your first payment is made in a month's time, so it won't have 36 months interest. And this one here, you assume that it's paid right to the end, so it won't get any interest. Sometimes they say that it's paid up to a month before the end of the period. So then it means that this one is not being deposited. And so your last one will have 1 month's interest on it. So you have to read very carefully what the question is saying about when you make your first and when you make your last deposits to know do they earn interest and how many months worth. That's all you just have to read carefully. That can change slightly.